In April of 2025, something strange happened on factory floors across America and Europe. Assembly lines for cars and electric motors slowed, and in some cases stopped. Not because of a strike, not because of a shortage of steel or chips, but because one country, thousands of miles away, quietly turned off a tap. That country was China. And the thing it withheld has a curious name: rare earths. They sit inside your phone, your laptop, every EV, every wind turbine, even the F-35 fighter jet. Here is the strange part. Rare earths are not actually rare. They are scattered in the ground all over the world. So how does one country hold the entire planet hostage over something that is everywhere? Rare earths is really a group of 17 chemical elements, and despite the name, most of them are not scarce at all. One of them, cerium, is more common in the Earth's crust than copper. Now, look at where the deposits actually sit. China holds the largest share of world reserves, yes, but only about half. The rest is spread across Brazil, India, Australia, Russia, Vietnam, and the United States. On paper, this is a resource that many countries could dig up. Australia mines them. America mines them. Even Myanmar mines them. So if the raw material sits under a dozen different countries, the monopoly cannot be about the ground. The real bottleneck is hiding somewhere else. Here is where the story turns. Follow the numbers as you move down the supply chain. China does about 70% of the world's rare earth mining. A lot, but not a monopoly. Now go one step further to refining, the stage where raw ore is separated into usable elements. China's share jumps to around 90%. Go one more step, to the finished magnets that actually spin inside motors, and it climbs to 94%. Do you see the pattern? The deeper into the process you go, the tighter China's grip becomes. And that middle step, refining, is the true choke point. Why is it so hard? Because these 17 elements are chemically almost identical, and pulling them apart takes hundreds of delicate chemical stages. Whoever masters that process controls everything downstream. So how did one country come to own the hardest step? Not by luck, and not only by geology. Starting in the 1980s, China built this dominance the way few others were willing to. It produced rare earths cheaply, very cheaply, and it absorbed a cost the West refused to pay: pollution. The mines around Bayan Obo in Inner Mongolia left behind lakes of toxic, mildly radioactive waste, poisoned water, and sickened towns. In 1992, China's leader Deng Xiaoping reportedly said, "The Middle East has oil, China has rare earths." Over the next decade, China flooded the world market with cheap supply, and one by one, Western refineries could not compete. By the late 1990s, they had closed. China was left standing almost alone. But here is the question that really matters. If everyone knows China controls this, why hasn't anyone rebuilt their own supply? The answer is a trap that has sprung shut before. Go back to 2010. A territorial dispute flared between China and Japan, and China quietly halted rare earth shipments to a country that depended on it for nearly 90% of its supply. Prices exploded. One key element, dysprosium, rose more than 20-fold. Alarmed, America reopened its old Mountain Pass mine under a company called Molycorp. For a moment, the West had an answer. Then China eased its restrictions and let cheap supply flood back in. Prices collapsed, and in 2015, Molycorp went bankrupt. This is the pattern. The moment a competitor rises, the price is crushed until it dies. And in 2023, China went one step further and banned the export of the refining technology itself, which brings us back to where we started. Since 2023, China has turned this quiet leverage into open policy, first restricting gallium and germanium, then, in April 2025, the very rare earths used in high-performance magnets. European prices spiked, and Western car makers slowed their lines within weeks. The world is now scrambling to catch up. America is rebuilding Mountain Pass. Australia's Lynas is opening refineries outside China. Japan, burned once in 2010, has cut its dependence from 90% toward 60%. But a refining plant takes years to build, and China still runs the vast majority of them. So the answer to our puzzle is this: the world was never really held hostage by a mine. It was held hostage by a single step in the middle, the quiet, dirty, difficult art of separation. Rare earths were never the rare part. The ability to refine them was.